the playoff integrity, the integrity of the playoff system, because you referenced one top 5 in 97 cup races. Now he gets this win and he's in. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I just wonder what the balance is between do we want our best 16 cars or do we want it to be exciting? This is exciting. And I agree with everything that's going on. And this is not anything against Harrison Burton. It's not anything against Daniel Suarez. But are those our best 16 cars that we're going to have racing for the championship? Or does it matter? If you have 5 or 6 guys that are in there that we're going to be, 30 something in the points or 20 something in the points, is the integrity of the playoffs? Is it putting our best foot forward as far as representing our best 16 cars as we go into playoffs? I think he scored almost 300 points less than Kyle Larson. And I know that's the way that the system is set up. Win and you're in. But is that all that there is? For me, I have a hard time with the win and you're in strategy because we have such a long season with everything that we do that goes with cup racing. So I can see it both ways. There's an entertainment side. But I'm a traditional, racer that wants the best 16 guys to race for that championship. So
I want the best 16 guys, but I love the drama of somebody coming from the back and just being able to make a run. Like once you're in, like who knows? Like no one would have thought that Blaney was gonna make deep runs in the playoff. I mean, I did, but a lot of people didn't think that he was gonna make deep runs when he was just sneaking into the playoffs, and he made deep runs. And so I like that. I feel like we're catching a little bit of March Madness in the bottle of the you just don't know. And I think that drama makes it fun. I hate it if I'm a competitor like Bubba, I'm furious because we're running fast enough and good enough to be a top 10 team.
For
not
sure,
just
he deserves to be in
16.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Is a top 10 team just because they hadn't won? Does that mean their season, should be completely lost when you have a 30th something place car make the playoffs and kick a top 10 guy out that could make a run in the playoffs, because the 21's not making a run in the playoffs. The 99's not making a run in the playoffs.
No.
There are just some of those guys that have won a race. Austin Cindric's not making a run in the playoffs. So I just, I think, are we wasting
spots?
Are we wasting spots?
I don't know. I would say that when Ryan Newman made his run in the 31, I didn't think he was going to make it anywhere. And he went all the way to the Final Four and almost beat us. And so I don't know. That part I like because.
But he never won.
I know. And I know. And that would have made me, that I would have felt some type of way about that.
So what's the solution? What do you think the solution could be?
I'm just bringing up the conversation.
Yeah, I know. I was curious.
I think it's an interesting conversation because we've had as much, outside the top 16 winning this year from. When you look at the points that people have tallied throughout the year, there's a pretty dramatic drop when you look at Harrison Burton as low as it can go in the points. When you look at Daniel Suarez, pretty low in the 20s. Austin Cindric, pretty low. And I just wonder, where is that line of putting our best foot forward with the most competitive cars? But the system is what it is right now, and it's win and you're in. And I'm not knocking anybody who has won to get in. I'm just asking, if we think that the integrity of the point system is questioned.
Yeah, I don't know why this happened, but we went from a top 30 to now. I think you just got to be full time running all the races basically. So and Harrison was 34th. I think maybe if we go to back to top 30, even top 25, I think that'll force you to be better. It's a better.
Yeah, maybe that's the solution is move it to top 25
maybe
or
top 25.
But we're gonna have the same conversation about the champion, right? Like I still believe that, it shouldn't come down to one race. I still believe that there should be 2 or 3 races that determine the championship. I look at the whole point system and structure. It's super exciting.
Yeah.
But it's also very open for controversy.
I also have an issue with the driver who has the most wins. There should be something else given to them for all the wins. Like one of your years, how many wins did you have? And you weren't in the championship.
Well, I think that's the thing about NASCAR racing Right. Because you can win a bunch of races, but you can't win you're not necessarily guaranteed to winning the championship. With the way that how long the season is and the points, even in the old structure before we had playoffs and we had the chase.
It was the same.
It was the same way, right? You could win a bunch of races, but if you didn't finish races, it hurts you a lot worse than it does now. And now it's like, you knock the fender in and can't put one on and can't replace it and can't do this and can't do that. So they just pull them in the garage.
Should the driver who has the most wins get an automatic spot to the championship 4?
Not most wins.
No,
not.
But we
most
base everything on winning. Why shouldn't the guy that wins the most races?
I think if you win the regular season championship, you should go all the way.
I still think the wins, for me personally, I would love to see the team that had the most wins all year should get to be in the championship 4.
Okay, so if you get the most wins all year, but you finish 4th, but you're 4th in the championship, you didn't really beat the other. Like you
didn't have the best year.
You didn't have the best year.
Okay,
I can see it. This debate is.
I understand what you're saying.
This debate is endless.
I've never thought about
what the right balance is with everything is you'd have to have a room of people to figure this out.
Because think about it, if you get the most wins, it's going to put more premium on wanting to do that. So you're guaranteed a spot to the championship 4.
Right, but then on the flip side, right, to Kevin's point, like it's this win and you're in thing, and like it doesn't give the person who's had the best year, which are what a lot of the core fans don't like, who's getting the best year, the best opportunity. So if you have the best year in the regular season, you probably have a good amount of wins.
Yeah.
Chances are you're like top 1st or 2nd or 3rd in wins.
Because right now we look at, I'm going to use Kyle Busch as an example because he had a miserable season up until we had the break.
Right.
And now he's feeling pretty jazzy about his cars. Right. And I think as you look at those cars and what he's done at Michigan and Daytona and wherever else we race, Richmond, I think he's the type of Cinderella story that can make a run into the playoffs.
Correct.
And he's got the speed all of a sudden that he needs to take his car into the playoffs and make some noise with a low seed.
Yeah.
These other guys don't have that. They aren't taking their car and they aren't making a run into the playoffs and making any noise. The only noise they're going to make is the noise that they make getting to the playoffs.
Man, I can't wait for an underdog to go to like the round of 8. I can't wait for whoever's 16 or 15 seed to just do it. That'll be. I hope it happens.
I hope it happens too.
But
the likelihood of it happening is very, very, very low.
And I do feel bad for Kyle Busch real quick because he has been struggling. Like they've had a tough year, and I'm like, he's in position to win, and it's Kyle Busch going down the backstretch on the last time. I mean, he's probably going to win this. Yeah. I was very excited for Harrison because for his career, he needed it.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Harrison Burton too. Yeah. I just bring up the point.
The
point of the system.
Very valid.
Hey.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.